All right, happy Mardi Gras. It's Monday, March 3rd, 2025, and you are waking up with Wesley. Good morning, I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams, and all morning long, we've been talking about the forecast for the remainder of Mardi Gras season 2025. Today looks pretty nice. Tomorrow, we got some issues we're going to talk about. I'm keeping my hope alive for tomorrow's parades, but it's not going to be as nice as it was this past weekend. And how about this past weekend, right? Did you go to any parades on Saturday or Sunday? Last few days have been amazing weather-wise. We were telling you that when we were last together on Friday. And if only I could just bottle that and take it with us today and take it for tomorrow especially. But yeah, we've kind of run out and we've got some changes to talk about. I don't like being the bearer of bad news, but let's get to the information and see what we can learn about today's forecast. So first of all, for Monday morning, not too shabby. We've got bright blue skies over Biloxi, and the sun is shining brightly along the beautiful white sands on the shoreline there. The planner for today starts our temperatures off on the cool side. We've seen 40s and we even had cold 30s earlier this morning. As we go to the next few hours, at the current hour, 8 o'clock, next hour, 9 o'clock, we'll probably see more 50s. And then by the afternoon, high of about 70 degrees. So pretty close to normal for this time of year to have a temperature around 70 in the afternoon. Kind of what we're used to in early March, which is great news for any parade plans today. Are you planning to view the Mystic Crew of the Seahorse, which will be rolling in Bay St. Louis at 5:30 p.m.? Well, it looks like a pretty nice forecast with a mix of sun and clouds and temperatures in the comfortably mild 60s. We'll see mid-60s and then eventually some lower 60s once the sun goes down. But all in all, pretty nice. So, and the best part, not expecting any rain. 3-day forecast shows the increase in rain chance from today, which is less than 10%, to tomorrow, which goes up to 50%, and then tomorrow night, a guarantee of wet weather along the Mississippi coast before we dry out Ash Wednesday. The wet weather will be brought on by a storm system developing off to our west. Before the first raindrop falls, we are in for a windy Mardi Gras Day 2025. So we're talking about many hours of the day with no rain and plenty wind. And then there will be a short time frame in the evening when we get a whole bunch of rain and thunderstorms. So this is that storm system. You can see those winds gusting off the Gulf. Some of the sustained wind speeds will be in that 20 to 30 mile per hour range around the middle of the day. They might go even higher later. This has triggered a number of wind alerts for our area. There's a wind advisory for Stone and George counties and a high wind watch for the Mississippi coast, Jackson, Harrison, Hancock, and Pearl River County. Now, when you have a high wind watch, it could actually get upgraded to a warning. So something we'll watch for later today. Excuse me one moment. Something we'll watch for later today will be the upgrade possibly to that watch. It could get upgraded to a warning, and that will kind of lock us in to the expectation of dangerous wind. Right now, we're just saying these conditions are possible, but if we get that watch to become a warning, forget possible, it's expected. So watch for that. That change will likely happen around noon today. They will either upgrade it to a warning or they will just bring it to a wind advisory. Wind advisory, not as serious, but a high wind warning is actually pretty serious because look at these conditions. You can see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. The sustained winds around 20 to 30 in the afternoon and around 30 to 40, if not 30 to 50 later in the afternoon and evening. Of course, with Mardi Gras parades rolling on Fat Tuesday, not just on the Mississippi coast, but in other parts of the coast as well, from New Orleans to Mobile. Mardi Gras floats, something to think about. They're high-profile vehicles, right? And the taller a vehicle is, the more likely it is to sway when the wind is blowing. Now, you want to be really specific about it. If you are a person watching who is an official for these parades and you're trying to make decisions determining what the conditions will be, you can get a little specific with this. Look, the wind will be from the south. So, for example, Highway 90 is a road that goes from west to west. If you have a wind, let's go back to this. I want to go back to the map. Let's go all the way back to the zoomed in map here. So let's zoom into Biloxi. That's a place that's going to have a parade around 1 in the afternoon tomorrow, GCCA. Now there's a specific route for this, which you can see on our website. But just at a glance, we know that at least portions of GCCA is going to run, zoomed in too much there, is going to run on Highway 90. So we're way at street level here. If we have a parade, like let's say, for example, it's running, I don't know the exact route offhand, but for example, if it's running on Highway 90 and the parade is going like that from east to west at a certain portion, guess what? We're going to see winds from the south. So those are coming in off of the Gulf. And that's a crosswind. It's blowing across Highway 90, a south wind blow across a west-east road or east-west road. So that's probably, where you're going to see more of an impact, more of a swaying of a tall vehicle or a float. There are other portions of the parade route which do not run on west-east streets and instead run on a north-south street. I know it will either go down either Les Muses or Maine or something like that. And so if I can pinpoint that on the map here, I've completely lost my place. I see Oak. Are we too far down? I don't even see. Yeah, we're too far down. I'm kind of lost here. It's kind of hard to see. I see White Avenue. I see Seal. I see Howard. There's Maine. Wow, real small words on this screen. So if you got it on Main Street, and let's say it's running, the parade floats are going from south to north on Main, for example. Who knows? You can see the exact route on the website. I'm just giving an example. If it's going north to south there, well, the wind from the Gulf is not a crosswind anymore. It's blowing parallel to the parade floats. So you might not have as much of a swing there because it's not blowing across Main Street, it's blowing along Main Street. So be thinking about that for you if you're a parade official and you're trying to plan or make decisions. Think about the crosswind effect from south winds that could be gusting upwards of 40, 50 miles an hour or so. In addition to any parade stuff that's going on, not everyone is participating in Mardi Gras, and there's plenty of places that aren't. You might get some tree limbs or maybe entire trees that are blown down, and that could, of course, lead to power outages. There's another effect that we're watching too. The salt water from the Mississippi Sound could get pushed onto the shoreline, pushed onto the beaches in some places. So there's a coastal flood advisory for that, where some saltwater flooding could happen in portions of southern Jackson, southern Harrison, southern Hancock counties. We get a high tide around the middle of the day tomorrow, which is literally right when GCCA is rolling, as well as a few other parades in the region. And so just keep in mind that maybe some of the beach might have water on it. I doubt this is going to put water on Highway 90 in Biloxi. I don't expect that. But there are other portions of Hancock County where, and I would say Pass Christian, maybe Long Beach, where sometimes when you get these coastal flood advisories, that water can come really close to Highway 90 in some cases. Something to keep an eye on for Tuesday. It's not for Monday, but for Tuesday. If you get the water too close to some of the roads, of course, officials and authorities will close those roads for safety. So if you're watching for maybe an isolated road closure here or there, that could impact some of your travel plans on Tuesday. So here's a snapshot of 1 p.m. on Tuesday. Those winds gusting over 40 miles an hour, over 30 miles an hour for most of the area. And here's kind of an hour by hour look at those wind gust speeds. You'll notice there is no portion of Tuesday that is calm. You got plans Tuesday morning, it's already showing wind gusts around 30 miles an hour around 8 in the morning. You got plans in the middle of the day Tuesday, It's already showing winds gusting to almost 40 miles per hour at times in the midday hours. And then Tuesday afternoon and evening, the wind gust speeds top 40 miles per hour. So there's no portion, you know, some people are like, oh, well, roll earlier. Rolling earlier helps, sure. But it's not going to be calm, even if you go and roll your parade in the morning. It is still going to be breezy with those winds, just not as bad as later in the day and the evening. All right, rain. Haven't talked a whole lot about this because rain's not going to be a main parade impact. It's wind that impacts the parades. Rain happens after the parades. You can see Tuesday morning, looking dry. Tuesday for most of the day, not much rain. But then we go to the evening and the showers will start pouring down. So for a parade like the Crew of Nereids, which according to our website will be rolling at 10 a.m. in Waveland, not looking too bad. Your rain chance 20%. It will be breezy, if not windy, but at least there's not much rain. But you will want to watch for those winds already breezy on Tuesday morning around that time frame. We go to the Tuesday afternoon time frame, the winds ramp up even more. Here's a snapshot of around noon or 1 p.m. when we are rolling a few more parades. Don't see much rain on the map around 1 p.m., 20% chance. Crew of Real People is one parade that will roll at 1 p.m. on Fat Tuesday in Bay St. Louis. You do have that 20% chance for rain. It didn't look like much on Futurecast. And a high wind watch, which that alert will change by tomorrow. We'll see if it gets upgraded to a warning or instead changed to an advisory. All right, GCCA rolling at 1 p.m. Here's your hour-by-hour look at the parade forecast in Biloxi. Specific for Biloxi, looks like there is a 20% chance for rain as well. Temps in the lower 70s and windy the entire time of that parade. Those winds we mentioned to you would be gusting over 30 miles per hour at that time. Speaking about the rain, let's take a look at the Futurecast going to the afternoon. Snapshot of around 2, 3, 4 p.m. Seeing a few hit or miss showers developing. Here is 5, 6, 7 p.m. Looks like parts of our area are beginning to turn stormy. In some of these thunderstorms, you will find the potential for tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. Of course, fortunately, is after parades. But how long does it take crews to clean up and move the floats back to where they aren't bothered by storms or whatever? You might have to do that rapidly because it won't be too long after GCCA is done rolling and Crew of Real People is done rolling to which you're going to see some storms in the area. Now, specifically for Biloxi, doesn't look like it's too stormy at 5, 6, and 7 p.m. Now we get to around 7 and 8, and you're starting to see those storms hitting Harrison County, Stone County. Again, any one of these could be capable of popping off a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. You go to 8 and 9 o'clock, there's time frame for George and Jackson counties. Some of these could be strong to severe as well. And then they go over the Alabama line, and we'll begin to see the rain chance decreasing pretty rapidly around 10, 11, and noon. Quick look at the risk map, which is going to be updated. Maybe some of these levels change, but the information as of 8:46 a.m. Tuesday showing a level 2 potential. The higher the level means the higher the probability of damaging storms actually occurring. And this is the more zoomed out map showing the storm line moving in from the west. You'll notice that it hits areas like New Orleans probably around 4 in the afternoon, a little bit earlier than it gets to the Mississippi coast. Could be 3 or 4 in the afternoon for them. And then it moves through the Mississippi coast, and then it's over the Alabama line overnight as things improve on Ash Wednesday. So remember, the higher the level means the higher the probability of seeing things like tornadoes, large hail, damaging straight line winds. We at a level 2 mean it's a low probability, but it's not like we're guaranteed to get spared out of this. Damaging straight line wind potential, that's a low, 2 out of 5. It's worse to our northwest. Tornado risk, that's low as well. It's 2 out of 6, so pretty low risk for us. And then you get the large hail risk, that's a very low, only a 1 out of 5. So if we show you all the impacts here, the most likely hazards that we would see from some of this will be those damaging straight line winds from a thunderstorm and perhaps an isolated tornado or two. Close look at those rain chances. You can see 20% for most of the day in South Mississippi, but it does increase in the evening, and it goes way up between sunset and midnight. You're basically guaranteed showers, and you have a chance for strong to severe storms between sunset and midnight Tuesday night. So we've covered a lot of ground here. Hopefully you were able to soak in that information. Of course, we'll be here in the First Alert Weather Center tracking the latest updates, so be sure to stay tuned. And by the way, if you want to follow this on our website, I'm pulling it up over here on our computer. Check it out on the WLOX.com website. You can get everything that you just heard by going to our news story on the website. You got the latest alerts, the hour-by-hour winds, the hour-by-hour rain chances, and our potential weather impacts. So be sure to head to WLOX.com for the latest look at that. Well, thank you so much for this update, sticking with us and watching. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Thanks for waking up with Wesley. We'll see you next time.